Peace, fam. Peace. I'd like to welcome you to today's show. And today we're going to talk about the Nguzo Saba challenge, the 21-day challenge. Of course, I take a long time to go through it and all that. And I'm trying to. It's so hard. We got so much that we got to cover. And I got so little time to get it to you, you know? So, bear with me. I think at about the minute 33, you get right into the fat of it. But of course, I start with the toast. So, here we go. As my daughter would say, let's get started. Day family, I want to welcome you once again to the morning toast. It is a great Umoja. So first, let's bring them out. 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 All right. So, of course, we gotta start with our water. Let's get hydrated. Let's get hydrated. Come on now. Celebrating this Umoja. Every day is a celebration, fam. Let's get our bodies up and moving. Marvelous day. How you doing this morning, Miss Sheila? And then when I first started doing this, it was hard for me to drink this much water. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Had a nice, restful weekend. I may need some more time because there's a show that I want to check out so that I can make some comments on. It's called American Gods. Has anybody that's watching this seen it yet? On the stars. start off the day first breathing. Then we move to the water. Now we're gonna move to getting some nutrients in. This is that grape, purple top. Purple top. This been in the refrigerator and it's still up and popping. Up and ready for us. This is what I love, man. I got another batch that I'm brewing, working on right now. So those who want to support the journey, let's jump it off. Ooh. Oh man, I hate to pat myself on the back, but Lord have mercy. So first, giving honor to the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator, man. We toast the start of another marvelous week. Some of us gonna make some breakthroughs this week. Some of us may even hit some setbacks this week. But the whole piece is that long as we learn, it was worth it, right? There's no failures, only feedback. So we toast the Creator for allowing us to experience this life. From there, we move on to our personal ancestors, and we remember those that came before us, those that laid the foundation for us, some that came after us, and even in the short time they was with us, they have had some major influence on our life. They have allowed us to feel love. They have allowed us to learn what it means to lose love. We want to thank you. We want to salute all those ancestors. We want to salute those strong men and women in our lives. And we even want to thank some of the weak ones, because even in their weakness, they taught us a lesson. If we was observant enough, they taught us how not to be. So we want to lift up our ancestors, and we want to thank each and every last one of them for what they brought into our life or what they took away. Because some of us had ancestors that took something away from us, right? Took something away from us. And like I said, hopefully we got the lesson from it, right? Whether the lesson was good or bad, we learned something. So we salute. We salute. We toast. We toast those big mamas and those grandfathers. We toast those mothers and fathers, those uncles and those aunts, those friends and those cousins, those nieces and those nephews. We toast them all. Brothers and sisters, I forgot about those too, because we learned a great lesson from many of our brothers and sisters. So we toast them and we say, I ain't gonna say I shit yet. I'm gonna run down my family line. Miles Brown, Miss Ann Robin, and Texana Davis, on the Brown C, Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walton, Christopher and Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Geneva Brown, Cleveland Brown, Margaret Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Wash Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fillard, Montague Pittman L, Dr. Marianne Williams, Elder Harrison, Elder Farmer, Elder Donaldson, Geronimo Pratt, Dr. Marianne Williams, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Tony Clark, Normal X, Sapet Ma Ra. We toast all of our ancestors. Hopefully you lifting up your glass. We say Ashe. From there we toast this moment. This moment is Umoja. And we salute today. There's the day of mentalism, where we realize that the universe is the thoughts of the Creator, right? We recognize that these thoughts flow through us. These thoughts are us. So if we could control how we think, we could control our life and we control things around us. So we're going to look into that a little bit today, and we toast and we say, Ashe, this moment, Umoja. We toast our children's children onto infinity, and we thank them for choosing us to express themselves in this life through us, right? We toast our children, and we know that everything that we are building, everything we are working on, goes towards their benefit. So we toast them and we say, Ashe. Last but not least, I toast each and every last one of you. I toast your struggles. I toast your victories. I toast your defeats. I toast all of the good things that have happened to you. And I toast all the lessons that may come to you. And we toast and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I wish you peace, power, joy in 100 years, as my child always try to rush and beat me to say. So eventually I'm going to let them go on and start taking this over. I guess I'm going to have to wait a couple of years, but eventually they'll be able to do it. And we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I'm about to burp. Woo! Man. I am not used to this being cold. I don't think I want to get used to it getting cold. I take that back. Everything has its place and time. Ooh, this cold. Man. God, I gotta chill. One of my daughters sent me a text about Fernando Castillo. And I personally wasn't shocked. And it's kind of funny how it all lined up with Father's Day for me. You know, I'm not necessarily a conspiracy dude. There's enough, excuse me, there's enough people out there. Woo! There's enough people out there to throw out conspiracies and stuff like that. So I won't. But I felt I had to say that I was not shocked that they, even with video footage, found a police officer innocent. This goes back to a concept that I've been constantly wrestling with. People will not respect you if they don't have to. There's no consequences for them not respecting you. What else? What else are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So as we build this culture, as we rebuild this culture, as we move in, as we move in the direction of building, one of the things we have to start really recognizing is that every people need defenders. Every people. And as long as there are no consequences for actions taken against you, as long as there's no actions taken, right? Bigger than just protest and angry rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all wondering why I don't harp on some of the things that's happening as far as out there in the world, because a lot of stuff is going to continue happening in the way that it's happening until people are held responsible, right? At least That's my take on the whole piece. So, Yolanda Castile and the other brothers and sisters who have been unjustly dealt with by police, by society, this stuff will continue happening until there are legit consequences for the actions of others against us. We always need to remember that, family. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we have to be real with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's scared of the black man. Nobody's scared of the black woman. I mean, they act like they scared. You know what I'm saying? They'll put us in movies and allow us to be loud and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And promote that image. When it really comes down to it, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a chicken, and she had her little chicklings, and they were walking down by the river, and an alligator came up out the river and grabbed one of her chicklings. And the chicken looked at the alligator and turned around and be like, "You motherfucker, you better put my chick down. You better, if you knew what was good for you, you would put my chick down right now. Put my chick down." The alligator looked her straight in the eyes, like, "I'm looking you in your eye right now," and slowly crushed the chick, ate it, and went back into the river. The chicken walked away, crying and screaming and protesting, talking about it's gonna boycott the river. Walked away, went back to her coop, cried. So, another day, a duck goes walking by the river with her ducklings. An alligator come out the water and grab one of her ducklings. And the duck silently looked at the alligator, said absolutely nothing, just looked at the alligator and gathered the rest of her ducklings and began to walk away. And the alligator thought about it for a second and let the duckling go. Now, one of my elders told me that story a long time ago, and he said, I'm like, well, why didn't the alligator eat the duckling? I looked at him, I was asking, I'm like, well, come on, you got to break this down to me, because I thought alligators didn't care. He said, first off, young blood, understand it's a story. Second off, it's a lesson in the story. The first part is that the chicken, because she was so loud, so boisterous, the alligator automatically knew that she wasn't going to do nothing. So he had no problems with eating that chick. But when the alligator grabbed the duckling and the duck said absolutely nothing and just looked at him and gave him a cold stare and gathered her chicks and was about to leave, the alligator had second thoughts, because the alligator didn't know what the fuck the duck was thinking about, nor did it know what the duck was connected to. And if that duck was so bold to not say a word and walk away, the alligator had to have second thoughts. So he let the duckling go just in case. Oftentimes, we mask our inactions by loud actions. Oftentimes, we limit what we can do or what we're going to do by running our mouth all the time, by protesting and outrage and all this. When sometimes we need those silent moments, that silent time, to let people know and wonder what's going to happen. I'm approaching 50, and I'm all out of protest. I'm all out of loud words. I'm not surprised by the treatment that we receive. I'm not surprised by people's response to us. But what I am surprised at is that many of us have not learned that sometimes it's best to let people wonder about your actions than to actually be so boisterous about it and loud about it. I'm just saying, family, at some point in time, we're going to have to make up our minds, right? We're going to make up our minds. We're going to have to make up other people's minds and let them really start suffering the consequences of messing with us. Once we pull it together, we'll be able to have some real consequences. There's no way that that police officer that did what he did should have even made it to court. That's my opinion. I'm just saying. Police officer that shot Tamir Rice, if I'm understanding, just recently got fired somewhere else. Family got fired. Didn't get fired because he shot Tamir Rice. He got fired for some other stuff. Shouts out to Kwame. Thank you for sharing. Right? And he's still able to walk the streets. He feels no concern for his safety. He feels no concern for safety of those around him. It's time for us to stop talking, fam. Really, it's time for us to stop talking. We need to start building. We need to start fortifying. We need to start saving up those funds, because there is a crew of us. There is a crew of us that don't mind sitting it down, as my brothers taught me a long time ago. There's a crew of people that don't mind sitting it down. We just got to be able to help them, support them. You know, because part of the issue is this, man, right? I have put myself on the line for our folk and walked away with nothing. Right? Now, I want you to understand this. When the United States of America goes to war, they take your son and they send your son off to war, right? When your son is off at war, causing havoc somewhere else, right? The United States supports your son's or your daughter's efforts. If something happens to that young person while they're out in service of the United States of America, there are consequences for the other side. When that soldier comes back, although the stuff is not perfect, there are certain things set up to take care of that individual, right? If that person is captured during battle in America, America is doing negotiations to try to get your child back, or they're taking actions to get your child back, and the whole time that your child is over there, there's some type of support for the family. It's called, you know what I'm saying? That's called collective. You know what I'm saying? That's called unity. That's called, you know what I'm saying? It comes under a bunch of different guises, but it happens, right? We want individuals to put themselves on the line for us, for our community, but there is no support from the community. I have watched my elders give their lives and receive nothing from the community. I've often talked about the Black Power retirement account, which means that when you pass with nothing. Your children receive nothing. When you give your life and you have to sit it down, as they say, nobody's supporting your family. And I love my people. I put my life on the line, and I've proven that. And I'll do it again. But the only thing that bothers me is that I run out here, I put my life on the line, I do what needs to be done. Who's going to help with Sasha and Gina? Who's going to protect them from the predators that are out there? Who's going to have my back? Who's going to make sure that Cleveland does not end up out on the street? Who's going to look out? Who's going to take them to get a haircut? Who's going to be there to give him advice? Because I have seen where individuals who, I see people will come up to me and be like, man, that's an honorable dude, man. He did so much for me and my family. You know, we was hungry or we was homeless or my sister was being pimped out and he went and he did this. You know what I'm saying? They were selling drugs over here and he shut that shit down. And I watched this same dude that people was telling me was a hero. Was a hero. Die almost penniless. So people wonder why I don't talk about some of this shit that's going on. Right? When I witnessed my people turn their back on individuals who would put their life on the line for them. But yo, I love y'all. I'll do the same. But then again, I have to ask the question, who gonna be there for mine? I ain't willing to sit it down. But while I'm sitting it down, who gonna sit with mine? Who gonna tutor my son to math? Am I gonna be able to? Am I gonna be able to be comfortable sitting somewhere in a small box after I done did what needs to be done and not have to wonder which one of the people that I stood up for is going to try to be pushing up on my daughter at an inappropriate age? Huh? See, until we solve the internal issues, right, and work through some of these questions and do some of these things, right? And set up true families, set up true tribes, we always gonna be lost. Cause I'm gonna ask you, man, what other community could somebody shoot? Could a police officer, a servant of the people, actually execute somebody and walk away free, totally free? As my daughter said, yeah, where do they do that at? Except with us. Oh man, we the only ones that shit could go down with, fam. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Because my open enemy has never lied. Ever. They have never lied to us. They have always let us know how they stand. Right? We get so caught up in all the other drama. Right? We get caught up in what's going on with Russia. We get caught up with what's going on with all this other stuff, fam. But yet, we don't get caught up with what's going on in our schools. We don't get caught up in what's going on in the very communities we live. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that we could live in places for years and not know our neighbors. And they look like us. So, so I'm going to salute the brother, because this is all I can do right now. Lift the glass to him, right? But time is coming, time is changing, right? Because we got a whole generation of young people that's coming up. And this is what's crazy, family. What we got to remember is that in the civil rights movement and the Black Power movement, it wasn't the 50-year-olds or the 40-year-olds or even the 30-year-olds that really made the change. It was those that was younger than 25. And we got a whole generation of children that have been neglected by the system, and many of them neglected by their parents because their parents is out here trying to get it for themselves. And this world is not ready for them. But I am. I can't wait. I can't wait. So Facebook, I say peace to you. I'm going to sip on my ambrosia. I'm going to take my health drink. I'm going to move to YouTube. I'm going to do my lesson for the day. And I'm going to wish y'all a great day. All right? That I'm out. Alright, YouTube, here's the break that I promised. Alright, fam, it appears that I be doing a lot of videos between me and my girls. Oh my God. I had to go and delete about 34 files before I was even able to do this, right? But that don't stop us. We still going, right? So today, I just want to do a quick review, and then we're going to be done, right? So over the last few weeks, we've been doing a lot of stuff that's health-based. And I want you to understand that this show is about us improving ourselves and building up at the same time that I am prescribing things in a sense for you. I'm putting them into action for myself. So we talked about some herbs, right? We've been talking about herbs. We've been talking about making changes in our lives. We talked about the importance of understanding the entire system. So we started talking about the skin, right, and how it's the largest organ. But then we discovered together through reading and research, because I find information and I come and I share it with you, right? We found out that the actual largest organ is the fascia, right? Which is, in a sense, the white meat that people be talking about. I want to bust you to the white meat, right? Which is that covering that covers you from head to toe. So if we were to extract all of the fascia out of you, the fascia would take the form of you. The fascia would show how your body really is interacting with the world, how it has interacted with the world. So every hurt and every pain that you would suffer, it will be revealed in the fascia. So it's very important that we realize that this system exists and we get up in the morning and we do one of the things that we've been doing, get hydrated. Because this not only helps the skin, which is the second largest organ, right? It helps the fascia, which gives us a little bit more flexibility, right? Because one of the things we need to make sure we're doing and make sure that we're able to maintain is our ability to move, right? Because I'm going to get to that in a second, right? Then, from there, we started talking about the microbiome, which was another incredible thing. Well, we found that, in a sense, that we are not just a human being, right? We are not just a human being. We have microorganisms that make up a majority of who and what we are, right? So we got all these interacting little beings working within us, right? To make sure that we are able to operate as a living system. As a matter of fact, we are a super organism. This don't mean that we're just one organism. We are multiple organisms working together as one, which is kind of strange because we are on the day of unity. And we understand that by us not taking care of our microbiome, we feed our own sickness. By us misfeeding our body, we feed our sickness, right? And we allow it to blossom and to bloom within us. And the same way we could do that for our sickness, we could do that for our health, right? So we got this microbiome that's not just in the gut. We find out that it's all in here, all the way up, even in your mouth. There's part of the microbiome in your mouth that helps you break down and extract the nutrition from food, even in your mouth. It goes into your nasal cavity. You know what I'm saying? Part of that microbiome is helping you purify the air as you bring it in, breathe it in. And it's all these organisms working together to manifest you. To manifest you. Right? Then yesterday we talked about the importance of water. And we found out that along with skin, along with the fascia, along with the microbiome, right? That if we supply our body with water, a majority of the problems that are plaguing us in our community, not limited to just physical, but also, I'm going to say mental as well as emotional, as well as spiritual, will be improved. It would benefit, right? And we found out that, like drinking water, by us drinking the right amount of water, by us drinking the right types of water, we stave off diabetes. We stave off, well, first off, we stave off dehydration, which causes the body to start robbing certain nutrients and robbing water from other parts of our body. When water is extracted from other parts of our body, we start suffering things like diabetes, arthritis, Crohn's disease, Alzheimer's, a whole host of diseases that are the list of what's affecting us in our community, including obesity, right? So we just a quick review. And then on top of that, if we throw in what we covered about the breathing. Wow. You know what I'm saying? What we covered about the breathing and proper movement, right? Which helped us develop a system. 4, 5, 6, 7. All based on the 224 self-help process. Now, let's go through that, right? So one of the things that I introduced to all of y'all was the Nguzo Saba challenge. This is not one of the normal challenges where you just could do it in 2 minutes and share it on Facebook. This is a personal work, right? Where we are striving to change certain aspects of our existence in 21 days. Now, we can't do all of it in 21 days, but I did a 21-day challenge just to get people started on the process, because this is a lifelong thing. But we could start with 21 days because I believe that in a 21-day period, we could see enough changes that we will be prompted and encouraged to continue. You know, I honestly believe that some of the changes, like some of us that's trying to lose weight, we'll notice enough of a weight change where just after doing that 21-day challenge, we're gonna be like, damn, I'm going all in, right? Some of us that want to get in shape for a race coming up or something, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Want to look good for the rest of the summer. You see enough of a change where you be like, damn, I'm gonna incorporate a portion of this into my existence, right? So I initiated the 21-day Nguzo Saba challenge, and the whole piece started with just people changing the days of the week. And then all the other stuff that I started seeing was necessary, we started adding in. So first, we started with the mental change, right? Boom. Changing that mind. We gotta change that mind. We gotta change how we see things, and we got to attack some of the symbols that have been thrown up for us, right? So in the 21-day challenge, I challenge you to change your thinking, or to challenge your thinking, or to start questioning some of the thoughts that you're thinking, and some of the things, and in changing the thoughts, and in changing how we think, and changing how we see the world, we change how we interact with the world. Boom. Then it expanded into all of the other stuff, because as I started thinking about it, and as I started doing research, and as I started looking at my own progress, I started looking at the stuff that I started going through years ago, right? Some of the struggles that I'm having and still having to this day, right? I said, damn, well, we need to go and incorporate some other things into this. So we got into the diet, we got into the daily toast and honoring the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Which brought in the spiritual piece. And then with the daily toast, we started adding the water. And then we started adding the physical movement, right? And then I started doing physical exercises. Those that was with me at the beginning, y'all remember when I was doing the physical exercises, because I was showing you the steps that I was going through far as the 21-day challenge. Then we just got it to the point where we're able to sit down right here, right now, right? And through this whole process, right, we found out about culturally appropriate foods. Every culture develop foods or have foods that are good for them. Now, I need to stress that the culture that we have been brought into in North America was not, in a sense, a culture that was based on health. It was a culture on getting quick energy so that we could work for others. But also that in us getting that quick energy, it kind of made us kind of dim-witted, right? So some of us had to start pulling on different aspects, and it started making us sick, right? So the whole piece was, boom, all right, let me introduce this diet to you, right? This African heritage diet, right? A culturally appropriate diet. Then we start looking at the power of water and be like, damn, I didn't know water did that. And then we start looking into the power of movement. Then we start looking into the power of the microbiota. And we start looking at all these aspects that led up into us becoming a better person. And that's what the 21-day challenge is all about. It's about you becoming the best. Because if you become better and I start seeing you, you're going to inspire me to push farther. Right? Like some of you are doing. Right? And if you see y'all see me changing and y'all see me getting better, that's going to inspire you. So we start a cycle between us where we are now the 21 days, because some of y'all been with me longer than 21 days. Now this whole cycle is feeding on itself. As we build this tribe, as we start building these relationships. You know, I know some of y'all scared to comment. Right? If it's nothing but I like the video, I didn't like the video. Peace, brother, I tell. I appreciate it, right? Because the whole piece is, family, we got to grow. We got to move beyond where we are right now, right? And what all these things are showing us is bringing us back to the principle of today, which is Umoja, which is unity. It also brings us to the Maya principle of truth. It brings us to the Hermetic law of mentalism. All is mental, which states all is mental. All is a mental manifestation of the Creator, right? We're mental manifestations, which means that we could think our way into a better life, right? And not, and I just want y'all to say, thinking is an action. You know what I'm saying? By you thinking and you controlling the thoughts that inhabit your mind, by you controlling the thoughts that inhabit your mind, you can change your life. Now, of course, it's going to require actions, but remember, thinking is an action. If you monitor everything that goes on in here, your ancestors said, control of thought. And it's a progress. Control of thought means that you can control actions. Right? So we build it, right? Unity. And it brings us back to unity. But first, let's go to truth, right? What I'm trying to present to you is certain truths. Now, I'm not one of those that's going to be like, I have the truth. It's the only truth. No, I'm introduce you to certain truths. And I'm tasking you with the responsibility of doing your own research, right? Because what's working for Brother High Tim might not work for you. But the search starts, right? Because you be like, I tried the black eyed peas. It's something about the peas. It's something about that African diet. It ain't work for me. So I need to tweak it just a little bit. So you're doing research on yourself. You're spending R&D time on you. See, y'all got to understand the products that we wear, the shirts that we wear, this stuff right here that we're using, that you're using to watch me. People have an R&D budget where they research and develop these ideas. And I'm just challenging you to develop a research and development budget for yourself. Right? Don't take my word. Start researching and developing shit for you. Right? Because if it works for you, it's a good chance that it'll work for your children. You're chilling. Right? So, let's get to the 4, 5, 6. So, of course, we talked about the 224, which is you spending 2 hours a day. Because when you're watching these videos, you're spending up to 2 hours a day in a 2 hours every 24 hours, in every 24-hour period, working on you, your research and development. You did the research. Right now we're doing, with you, I'm giving information. You're doing the research. Now it's time for the development. Invest the time. Invest the time. There's nothing more valuable than time. Invest it wisely. All right? Now, so we talked about that. So let's talk about the 4, 5, 6. So the 4, 5, 6, and 7 comes from me interacting with y'all. Right? So I had to realize there's only 4 needs. Proper breathing, proper water, you taking a daily amount of water, proper food, whole food, right? Getting away from some of this processed shit. I know we're not going to be able to escape it totally yet, but we got to start really moving towards that. And proper movement. I have demonstrated all those for y'all, right? I have given you in the Nguzo Saba challenge. I did a lot of research for you, at least to start research. I need other people to start adding stuff, right? Because the 21-day challenge would be something marvelous, and it's not a Brother Hatim thing. It's a gye-nyame journey thing. And if you watching this, there's a good chance that you're part of the tribe. So now I need you to do research. I need you to be adding stuff. I need you to be uploading stuff. I need you to be sending like, Brother Hatim, look, I found this out. You know what I'm saying? Brother Hatim, why don't you talk about this? I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, send it to me. Allow me to do some additional research. But we need to start sharing information because this is our public university. This is our research, family. Right? This internet, this thing right here allows us to communicate in a way that nobody else in the history of the world have been able to communicate. So right now we got an online university and we're learning about us, which is the first thing that our ancestors told us to learn about. And once we get good at this, right? Once we get good at mastering this, other masteries is going to be simple, right? And once our kids see us doing this, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect how they deal with the world differently. They're going to deal with the world differently. So a lot of issues we're having today, we won't have tomorrow, especially in the group of families that we're working with. Because each of you are eventually, after y'all start gathering information, y'all going to start understanding why Brother Hatim is always talking tribe, right? So wherever you are, you're going to start establishing a tribe. Right? And some of you gonna be like, Brother Hatim, I'm still part of the gye-nyame family, right? I'm still part of the gye-nyame tribe. But I got a lot of people here that need my own tribe. Right? And we got a process for that. I wanna stay connected with you. I wanna stay connected. It's a process for that as well. So we talked about the 4, the 5. We talk about the 5. We got we got the 4. We got the 5 parts of being. I have to flip the hand over like this. Why do you flip the hand over like this, Hatim? Because the physical part of us is our thumb. Right? The hand is almost useless without a thumb. You still could do some minor things, but it's the thumb that makes it the most important. We express who we are through our bodies. We have been taught to neglect our bodies. We have been taught to ignore our bodies and family. I'm telling you, we have to start really focusing on that physical because it's through the physical that all the other aspects of ourselves express itself through. Well, some of y'all pray, you get down on your knees. Physical act. Some of y'all meditate. Either you lay down or you fold your legs. Physical act. Some of you, when you express yourself in joy, you jump up and down. Physical act. Some of you, when you get upset, you cry. Physical act. We express who we are through our body. So we got to start developing a better relationship with our body. As a matter of fact, in this culture, we have been divorced so far from our body that we can allow our body to get obese and we don't even notice it. We don't move our body enough. So, we got the intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Right? The thumb. Work like a hand. So eventually we could ball it up and thrust it in the face of people that are disrespecting us as a group. Then we got the 6 emotions, which was brought to us by the Aya Institute. Brother Wakesa and his wife came and they did the training, and I picked up on the 6, which is the 6 emotions, which I don't want y'all to think that is limited to that, but y'all got to go back and watch some of the videos. But we find out that these 6 emotions act as foundation. Like, for example, you got the 7 colors, and out of these 7 colors, you get the rest of the color spectrum. Out of these 6 emotions, you get the rest of the emotional spectrum. Different combinations of each of these. So we got peace, power, joy. We got mad, scared, and sad. Mad, scared, and sad. Alright, y'all got it? From there, we move to the 7, which is the 7 principles. If you don't like those, we got 7 ones that say unity, self-determination, right? Well, first, in Nguzo Saba, we got unity, self-determination, collective work of responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and trust. Then we got the Millennium 7, which is a system that I developed for the school, using, of course, based on the Nguzo Saba, but using different words. And it's unity, self-determination, respect, gratitude, purpose, creativity, and trust. Then you got the 7 principles of Maya: truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, order, and harmony. Then you got the 7 hermetic laws, right? You can look those up yourself. All right. So there's a plethora of stuff that we could pull from. Now, what I need is the 3, the 2, and the 1. I need the 8 and the 9. Right? And I'm counting on your creativity to come up with that. I'm counting on the unity that we develop to develop the rest of this system. Because I need y'all to understand, right? This system is a system I've been working on for years. Before I even start doing videos, I've been developing this. We got myths, we got all types of stuff that I have made available to you through the Gumroad site. I've made available to you through the blog site, right? Fam, I made it available. Now, what's missing is for your dissertation, for your book, to fill in some of the things that's missing. Because we got to understand that this is a dynamic system. This is not a system. This is, as far as gye-nyame, G&J family, we don't get stuck. We honor tradition, right? We honor tradition. But we refuse to be chained by it. We refuse to be held to old shit that no longer works. We can honor it, we can respect it, but we refuse to be held by old shit that don't work. And there's certain things that we're practicing in our lives, family, that we have to be honest with ourselves. Is no longer working. It served a purpose for a time, but now it's time for us to grow up and move beyond it. Many of us have old beliefs that no longer work. Many of us have been given strategies that was used by our grandparents that no longer work. Many of us are grasping to old beliefs that was given to us by our great-grandparents that no longer work. And we have to be bold enough, intelligent enough, and wise enough to make the adjustments. So, this is Brother Hatim. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'm out. I got to go get Cleve up because I'm running late. I got to go get Cleve up so you can do this time of study. All right, peace, fam. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank those that leave comments. Shouts out to Vern Love. I think you started your 21 days today, right? All right. And to all those other people who have started their 21 days and And now they're re-signing up. Family, you can re-sign up for the 21 days. And I need to make sure you understand that the 21 day Nguzo Saba challenge is free. It's free, family. It's free. Right? Now, if you feel that you want to make a donation, not a donation, if you feel you want to give something for the information I'm giving you, that's your choice. Right? But it's free. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I toast you and I'm out. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to subscribe. Click the bird right there, the fiery bird. And I also have a special video just for you, right there. And for those that want more information about gye-nyame journey, go to our site. It should be right about there.